is power, let it rain. Knowledge 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 is power, let it rain.
Welcome back, family. Welcome back. Today, I want to share something very personal with you. My own experience here in America and how it has completely changed the way I see life, religion, and some of the practices we hold onto back home in Africa. This is not to attack anyone's faith. This is real talk. This is me sharing how living here opened my eyes, made me use my brain, made me use logic instead of blaming every little thing on an unseen force or on the supernatural or on superstition. So if you're ready for some uncomfortable truths, let's get into it. Living in America has opened my eyes in ways I never imagined. It has made me question not just religion, but many of the practices and beliefs I grew up with in Africa. Living in America has shown me that life is actually very simple. We just like to complicate it. We just like to make it difficult. We just like to make it stressful. What you put in is what you get. Here, and not just America, we're talking about the UK, we're talking about Canada, we're talking about all these Western countries. Life runs on logic, common sense, accountability, using your brains and evidence, not superstition. The system works. And because it works, you quickly learn that life is about effort. Life is about what you put in. If you are disciplined, if you seek knowledge, if you work hard, if you work smart, success will find you. But if you don't, life will be hard. There is no shortcut to success here in the Western world. No shortcut. You have to work for it. You have to earn it. Nobody is giving you anything. You have to work for it. So if you don't take life seriously here in the West, life will be hard. Life will be tough. Life will be a challenge. Life will be miserable. And instead of taking responsibility, you start blaming invisible forces. You start blaming the unseen. You start attributing things to the unknown. That's exactly the trap many of us fell into back home and are still experiencing. Thinking every challenge, thinking every misfortune was caused by witches, wizards, demons, spirits, or some unseen enemy. But here in America, you realize quickly it's not the unseen, it's no demon, it's no witch, it's no wizard. It's what you did or didn't do. In the Western world, it's all about accountability. It's all about accountability. Back home, the kind of prayers we used to pray now seem almost embarrassing if you think about it. So embarrassing. The environment shaped us to be numb to common sense. The environment made us refuse to use our brains. Religion and superstition numbed our brains. Instead of holding people accountable, we blame the unseen. We blame witches. We blame wizards. We blame spirits. When the evidence is clear, it's clear. But instead of holding people accountable, we will rather blame it on the unknown, on the unseen. Instead of fixing what is broken, we say spirits are responsible. And while people are stuck in that mindset, in that ignorant state, the political leaders are busy looting and bleeding Africa dry. Why? Because they know the people are gullible. They know most of the people lack common sense. They know most of the people are ignorant. They know most of the people have low IQ. So they feed off their ignorance. Sometimes I don't like to generalize Africa, because Africa is broken up into different parts. We have West Africa, we have East Africa, we have South Africa. So we can't generalize Africa and say Africa is going through this. No. I would say it's West Africa. Because if you do your research, you will learn that the East African countries are doing far better. The Southern African countries are doing better. Look at Botswana. Look at Namibia. Look at how these countries, even though they are also Africa, but look at how they are advancing as compared to the West African countries. That's where the problem is, the West African countries. Look at West Africa. The roads, literally death traps. Potholes everywhere. Cars not maintained. People driving recklessly. People driving with no license. People driving with no experience. People not respectful of traffic laws. It's like everybody is doing what they like over there. Everyone is doing what they like. What the rich will get away with, the poor won't. The poor will suffer for it. The poor will be jailed for it. Hospitals are in terrible conditions. Lives are lost daily. It's like every day lives are claimed on the roads. There is no day that lives are not claimed. Every day lives are claimed. And instead of demanding accountability, fixing the roads, enforcing traffic laws, jailing corrupt officials, people will rather attribute it to the unseen, attribute it to evil spirits, attribute it to witches, to wizards. But if you are back home, you don't see all this. It's when you travel to the Western countries, when you get to understand that life is about logic. That's when you look back at these things and it just makes you sad. It's like you can see the problem right there. The problem is staring you in the face and you are attributing it to the unseen. Really? Are we that blind? Are we that stupid? Are we that ignorant? The problem is clear. Human negligence. Problems caused by humans. Yet we hide behind superstition because it is easier than accountability. So sometimes it makes me wonder, is it spirits that live in West Africa? Is it spirits? Because if we are attributing every problem to the unseen, then it's spirits who live there, not human, because it is human beings creating the problems. Human beings creating the problems, yet we will attribute it to the unseen. Like, really? Is it human beings who live in West Africa or spirit beings? Which is which? Which is which? The problem is clear. But instead of solving it, instead of holding people accountable, we choose to spiritualize it. And this is exactly why political leaders loot without fear. This is why they swear on the Bible, yet come into office to loot. Because they know the people are gullible with low expectations. But these same leaders ask them to swear on the oracles. Ask them to swear on the African powers. They will not dare. They won't do it because they know that is where the power is. And common sense should tell you that if they can swear on the Bible and still come into office and steal and loot and do all this wickedness, that should tell you something. That religion is man-made. That should tell you which one is powerful. If you ask them to swear on the oracles, they will not swear. And even if they do get to swear on the oracles, they will do the right thing. Because they know the oracles don't play. They know it. So as a rational human being, you should know where the power lies. Which one has power? The oracles or religion? That is why a person can do all sorts of wickedness to you and claim to know God, claim to be religious. But the moment you say, I will deal with you with the oracles, they will behave. They will do the right thing. They won't even try it. But they will try it whilst holding the Bible, whilst holding the Quran, because they don't fear it. They have no honor for it. They don't value it. They don't respect it. So they will swear on the Bible, on the Quran, and still come into office and loot and do all type of nonsense and do all types of wickedness. But they will dare not swear with the oracle because they know that is where the power is. They know the people are gullible with low expectations. They will rather fast and pray, attribute problems to the unseen, than demand accountability. And because it's like everybody is in survival mode, everyone is thinking about themselves, how to also be comfortable. So it doesn't stop with the political leaders. The so-called religious leaders also cash in, exploiting people's fears, mostly with this death kind of statement. And I saw this calamity, and I saw death here, and as if death is not part of life. How do you call that prophecy? That I saw that this person will die? Really? What sense does that make? Death is part of life. The moment you came into this world, death the death clock started ticking. So what are you talking about? Then I saw this person who died, and I saw this here. Really? So you saw someone's death, won't you die? You didn't see your death, but you saw someone's death. And people fall for this nonsense. People fall for this nonsense because they want to live long. They want to live long. So the moment a scammer tells you, I saw that you would die, then they are running to them, giving them money. When death is part of life, whether you like it or not, you will die. The human body will die. The human body is material. It will die. And because we live in a world where accidents happen, you can't tell when you will die. Yes, we all want to live long, to enjoy the fruit of our labor, but you can't tell that when it should come. You can die in your young age, you can die in your old age. Nobody knows. So why are you allowing these scammers to scare you with death? When death is part of life, when they themselves, they will die. They too will die. So they can't see their death, but they can see someone's death. It's so funny. And people fall for this. And I saw this calamity. Of course, look at how people are running the country. People are doing what they want. So why won't calamities happen? Why won't accidents happen? Roads are not maintained. The cars are not maintained. People are driving recklessly. So definitely accidents will happen. Definitely lives will be lost. So is this a prophecy? Is this a prophecy? These are things bound to happen because of the state of the country, because of what people are doing, because of how people are managing the country. So definitely, these kind of things are to be expected. These type of things are to be expected. This has nothing to do with prophecy. This has nothing to do with the unknown. This is pure logic. This is pure common sense. To every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. To every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. You don't want to do the right thing? Of course, bad things are bound to happen. You don't want to do what's right. You don't want to maintain the cars. You don't want to fix the roads. You want to loot. You don't want to do anything. So of course, people will suffer for it. Misfortunes will happen. Calamities will happen. Accidents will happen because the right things are not being done. How is this a prophecy? And unfortunately, people are falling for it. These so-called scammers, I'm not saying all of them are fake. No, the majority of them are fake. Selling false hope, telling people to sow seeds of money so God can bless them, as if God can be bribed, when in reality, they are the only ones being blessed. They are the only ones enjoying. They are the ones living the good life, living in mansions and enjoying the best lives, while the congregation suffers. And people are not even reasoning. If you are saying there's more blessing in giving than receiving, so who should be blessed? Is it the one giving or the one receiving? Who should be blessed? Yet you, the one giving, you are still wallowing in poverty, whilst the one receiving is the one enjoying, the one living good. And that's why most of these young men, instead of finding a job to do, they'll rather get into religious stuff. That's why we have churches at every corner, because they've seen that that's the easy way to make money. That's the fastest way to become successful. So just start a church, tell people what they want to hear, and within a short while, you will start making money. That's what is happening. So sad. It's so sad. It's so sad what is happening, especially in West Africa. Just like the politicians, they send their children abroad, pay for the best health care, and live lives of luxury, while their followers starve and suffer. And the annoying thing is that they'll be bragging about the wealth they've accumulated from your ignorance, from your lack of knowledge. They'll be bragging as if they worked for that wealth. Looking down on you, you who made them wealthy, they look down on you, bragging, showing off, because of your ignorance. And if they truly had the powers they claim to have, if they truly had healing powers, why not go to the hospitals and heal the real sick? Why not raise the real dead in the mortuary? You claim you can raise the dead. Why don't you go to the mortuary and raise the real dead? You claim you can heal the sick. Why don't you go to the hospitals and heal the real sick? Because it's all a scam and they know it. They know it's a scam. They know religion is man-made. They know it's a scam. And so they do all this acting. They will hire people to come and lie. And I was sick and this person healed me, and this is all lies, all acting, all staging. And it's always people in their church. Not real people in the hospital. Not people that have been declared dead and placed in the mortuary. If they should come and say that, then yes, we'll believe it. But it's always people in their church. And sometimes strangers, they will hire them, pay them to come and be selling these lies. So people will fall for it. Really, so what is the doctor there for? If you claim you can heal the sick, so what's the doctor there for? What's the nurse there for? It's so funny. So funny. And yet, if they are sick, they'll rather seek medical attention or even fly abroad for medical attention. But they will tell you that they can heal you. And that's how sometimes most people end up dead. Instead of seeking medical attention, they place their life in the hands of these scammers. And then they will tell you to be doing uncalled for things. Drink this, drink that, drink this. Really? Yet when they are sick, they seek medical attention. But you are told to drink this and drink that. Wow. Wow. You know, things some people pray for back home are just everyday realities here in America. We don't pray for stable electricity. We have it. We don't pray for destiny helper. No, go get a job. We don't pray for God's blessings. Go get a job. Poverty and lack of opportunities are what drives people into desperate prayers back home. Prayers that wouldn't even make sense in societies where people actually have options, in societies where the system is working 24/7. These prayers wouldn't make sense in such societies. It's even a shame. Sometimes when you think of some of the prayers we used to pray back home, it's so shameful, so embarrassing. Like, did I really pray those kind of prayers? Whoa! Because I too was living in ignorance. I too was living in ignorance. I was praying this kind of prayers, but exposure has made me see that there is no force coming to do anything for you. It's about the effort you put in. It's all about you. What you put in is what you get. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody will do anything for you. Back home, some women pray desperately for marriage, like it's a reward. Why? Of course, poverty, lack of opportunities. So in their mind, they think a rich man is the answer. A rich man becomes the dream. Because most women don't have equal chances to build wealth. A lot of people are struggling financially. So they think a rich man is the answer. But here in the West, women don't pray to find a rich spouse. Nobody is checking the car you drive. Nobody is even looking at your car. You drive a Mercedes, so what? You drive a Lamborghini, so what? Here, as long as you have good credit, you have a job, you can go get one. Because we don't buy in cash. If you have the money to pay in cash, why not? But most of us, we finance it. As long as you have good credit, you go for it, and every month there's a minimum you pay. So nobody is checking you. You are driving a Range Rover, so what? So what? If I have good credit and I have a good job, I too can get one. Nobody is looking at the shoe you are wearing. Nobody is looking at the clothes you have on. Nobody is checking you. Only the lazy ones, the lazy women who don't want to work, the materialistic women, the shallow-minded women. They are the ones who will be checking you out. But a serious woman, a woman with self-respect, she's not checking you because she knows she has the opportunity to get hers. You have money, and so what? She's not checking you out. Because it's not like the money you give to her will last a lifetime, no? So why would she even worry herself to come and chase after you and put her freedom in your hands for you to think she's your belonging, she's your property, where you can talk to her anyhow, treat her anyhow because of the crumbs you give to her? No, she has self-respect. She loves herself. She will not stoop low. She would rather work and get hers. That's the beauty of the Western world. That's the beauty of it. Everyone has the opportunity to make it. As long as you put in the effort, as long as you are willing, you will make it. That if you're a woman and you come to the West with the same mindset, expecting a man to provide for you, instead of you getting out there to work, of course, men will treat you like trash. They will disrespect you. Women don't pray to find a rich spouse here. They don't. Because they have the opportunity to work, make their own money, build their own lives and future. In fact, most women in the West, they are the ones with the money. Most women are successful here. Some of them don't even want to have anything to do with marriage or children. They don't. Because sometimes getting into marriage is a headache on its own. Because most men would rather be a problem to you, put you through all sorts of challenges and all sorts of hell. So they'll rather focus on themselves and live their life. So most women don't even want to have children. They don't want to get married. They are living their lives and enjoying it. But the story is different. In Africa, there is only a few people that are financially okay. Majority are living from hand to mouth. Majority are struggling. So what you pray for in Africa is readily available here in the West. Most couples pray for children endlessly. You see, sometimes the man's family stressing the woman out. You've been married for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Why don't you have children? What is going on? What is the problem? Forgetting that sometimes the problem can be from the man. The man may have low sperm count. Sometimes the problem might be the man, but rather it's the woman who takes the blame. Because after all, you are not financially okay. It's the man who is financially okay. So they make it seem like they are doing you a favor. They make it look like you should thank God to be with my son, to be with my brother. You should thank God. Like they are doing you a favor. Oh my goodness. Sometimes science has made us aware that sometimes the woman's system rejects the man's sperm. Go do your research. Sometimes the woman's system rejects the man's sperm. And instead of seeking medical attention, they will rather look to these scammers. They fall prey to these scammers who, because they don't know better, they don't know anything, will tell them, oh, fast, drink herbs, drink this, drink that, thereby risking their health. Meanwhile, in the West, people use IVF, in vitro. People get surrogates, women to carry their children for them. Sometimes adoption. What's wrong with adoption? If you want to be with this person and the pregnancy is not coming, why don't you adopt? What is wrong with adoption? But most people in Africa, they see adoption as a bad thing. They feel like, no, I want to have my own child. When you can adopt. Here in the West, people don't stress themselves out with, oh, and I'm worried that I can't have child. And no, science has given options. Science has given options. The pregnancy is not happening, no problem. Let's look at other options. Is it IVF? Is it surrogacy, adoption, what? As long as you have the money, the options are available. But it's not so in Africa. So women always take the blame. And sometimes if you see how the abuse, the torture some of these women go through in the hands of men and their family, it's so sad. It's so sad, like, I'm with you by choice. It's not like I can't live my life without you. I'm with you by choice. So why are you making it look like you are doing me a favor? Nobody is doing nobody a favor here. I am not doing you a favor. You are not doing me a favor either. I'm with you by choice. The same way you are with me by choice. So why this stress? Why? Now this can only happen if you, the woman, you are not financially okay. If you put your freedom in the hands of the man, of course, expect these things to happen. Expect it. If you have your man, do you think the man can talk to you that way? Do you think his family can talk to you that way? If you are the one with the money, if you are financially comfortable, and you are with the man because you've seen that this man aligns with your values, he aligns with your purpose, he's a man of good character, he's a man of noble character, so you chose to partner up with him, to start a family with him. You think they can talk to you that way? But because you are expecting the man to provide for you, that's why they treat you that way. This is why I know it's not easy for some women in Africa. I know, but you need to understand something. The same way we came into this world empty-handed, we will leave empty-handed. So why all this this attention for material things? Why all this craving for material things? As if you don't have these things, life comes to a halt for you. Life comes to a standstill for you. Will you die if you don't drive a car? Will you die if you don't live in a mansion? Will you die if you don't wear fancy clothes? Will you die? Why can't you just invest in yourself? If you don't have the finances to further your education, you are from a poor family, why not learn a skill? Why not learn a skill and use it to make money? You can go learn hair braiding. You can learn how to sew. You can learn cooking. You can learn baking. You can learn a skill just to make you money and live within your means. Be content with what you have. Because how much can you eat in a day? How much can you eat and drink in a day? Even if you like to party, how many clothes can you wear in a day? How many shoes can you wear in a day? If you like to travel, how many cars can you even drive? Only one at a time. And the beauty of this is that every day, technology is inventing something new. Every day. The phone you are going crazy over today, a new one is in the making. A new one is coming out soon. So, I don't know why some people like to stress themselves over material things, over vanity. So because of material things, you allow a human being like you, flesh and blood like you, to treat you like trash, to treat you like a nobody. Really? Really? It's not like if you die today, you will be buried with the man. No. It is only you who will be put down there. It is only you who will be buried. Nobody will be buried with you. So why don't you live your life being content with what you have whilst aiming for better things? Why don't you live within your means? If you can penetrate someone for now, why not? If you can get a one-bedroom place, why not? What are you in a rush for? Who are you trying to please? Who are you trying to please? That because of that, you risk your freedom, you risk your happiness, you risk your peace of mind. And you allow a human being like you to talk to you anyhow, to crush your spirit, just because of what? Things that won't last a lifetime. It's not like the money this person is giving to you will last you a lifetime. It's not like the person will buy you a house that will last you a lifetime, will buy you cars, will set up businesses. Nothing like that. They're only giving you the bare minimum because they too have their life to live. So why don't you focus on yourself? Why don't you focus on yourself? Because a lot of people are not understanding something. Being with someone is a choice. Starting a family is a choice. Okay? It's not a must. It's not a must for you to get married. It's not a must for you to have children. It's a choice. And because it's a choice, you need to choose wisely. You need to plan before you get into it. If not, it will backfire. If not, it will work against you. If not, it will destroy you. What is supposed to be a blessing will rather turn out to be a curse because you did not plan well. Please, put yourself first. Think about yourself. Another prayer that some people pray back home is prayers for traveling mercies. Oh God, please take me safely to my destination and bring me back home safely. And we pray this kind of prayers because most of the roads are literally death traps. So it's possible that you may not come back. It's possible. So we pray those kinds of prayers. But here, no one prays for safe travel. No one prays for traveling mercies because the roads are properly maintained. The roads are good. The roads are working. So once you hit that road, even at midnight, you will still get to your destination and come back safely as long as you do your part. And the prayers for visa, people going to camps and churches and whatever to pray for visa. Foolishness. The American doesn't pray for a visa to come to your country. He just applies. Simple. He pays the amount and whatever else needs to be done, as long as he does it, he will get it. He doesn't pray. But you are praying for visa to come to the West. Funny. How some people think a miracle will land them a visa. And it's because of lack of knowledge. Because even if by chance you get the visa, that's just the beginning. What next? If you don't know, you need proper documentation to legally live here. And only an immediate family member can file for you to get that document. When we say immediate family member, we're talking about parents, we're talking about your children, we're talking about spouse. These are the people. As long as they are citizens, they can file for you to come over to get your green card, which is the permanent resident card, for you to live here legally and work. If you don't have anyone to file for you and you come, how do you expect to live here? How? So you're over there praying for a visa when you don't have any immediate family member to file for you. So what are you praying for? And even if you have an immediate family, as long as everything checks out, once they file for you, as long as everything checks out, you'll be approved. You don't need to pray for anything. As long as their paperwork, everything checks out, everything is correct, you will be approved. You don't need to pray. You need proper documentation to live here legally, to work, to build a stable life. So like I said, if you don't have immediate family to file for you to come over so you can get your green card, your social security card, and everything else you need to live here, how exactly do you expect to survive here? How? Who do you expect to host you? Who do you expect to take care of you? Who? What skills are you bringing? How will you pay rent, utilities, health insurance, food, transportation? How? The system here doesn't run on prayers or God will provide or God will do. It doesn't run on that. It runs on logic, skill, and contribution. And whether you succeed or fail depends on preparation, mindset, and hard work. Prayers have nothing to do with it. And without that, you end up struggling even harder than you were before. Except this time in a foreign land where no one is coming to rescue. It's each one for himself in the Western countries. Each one for himself. Everyone is working to pay their bills. People can only help you for a short period of time. No one will help you for a long time. No, it's just for a short period of time. After that, you are on your own. You need to find something doing. If not, you'll be kicked out. And what about success? Some people pray for wealth without working. You want to be successful overnight without putting in the effort. How is that possible? They pray for blessings without putting in the effort. Then you find a scammer, tell them to sow money so God will use it as a point of contact. Really? Oh, sow a seed. When they say seed, they're talking about money. Bring money. Bring money so that God will use that to bless you. Really? How much did people like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Donald Trump, Dangote, how much did these people give to God before becoming successful? How much? But they worked. They sacrificed. They built. They put in the effort. And now they are reaping. But you have lazy people, scammers themselves, who don't want to work. They don't want to put in the effort, but they want the success. You don't want to sow, but you want to reap. How does it make sense? How does it make sense? But gullible people, lazy people, fund the lifestyles of these fake pastors instead of investing in their own future. The money you used as a seed offering, the money you gave to that scammer, you could have used that money to start a business. You could have used that money to learn a skill. You could have used that money to do something, but rather because you yourself, you're a scammer, you don't want to sow, but you want to reap. You don't want to put in the work, but you want the harvest. That is how you got scammed. Because you have brains, and common sense should tell you that you can't reap if you don't sow. Common sense should tell you that. And things like this is the reason why people's lives are being cut short. Because you have somebody tell you that sacrifice someone to make money. How does that even make sense? Sacrifice here in the West has nothing to do with ending someone's life. Sacrifice here is about time. Sacrifice your time. Put in the work. Sacrifice things that matter to you now. Sacrifice them so that you benefit tomorrow. You like to party? Sacrifice 2 years of no partying. Just invest in yourself. Work so you can make it tomorrow. Sacrifice has nothing to do with ending a human's life. But because of this kind of mindset where people think sacrifice has to do with exchanging someone's life for vanity, innocent people suffer for it. People's children, people's loved ones, they are the ones who suffer for such evil mindset. Mindset of not sowing, but you want to reap. Mindset of not sowing, but you want to harvest. Ask yourself, the person who is telling you that they can make you rich, they can make you wealthy, so bring a human life for exchange, why are they not the richest people in the world? Have you asked yourself that question? If you claim you can make me rich overnight, you can make me rich without me putting in the work or anything, why are you not the richest person in the world? But rather, those who put in the effort, they are the ones enjoying, they are the wealthy ones. If you claim you have the power to make someone rich, why are you not the richest person in the world? And people are not asking themselves deep questions. People are not sitting down to ask themselves deep questions, and they fall for these nonsense because they themselves are scammers. You don't want to work, but you want to eat. You don't want to sow, but you want to reap. So guess who pays the price? Innocent people. It's innocent people who pays the price. And another thing that also makes me think deep, back home, we have this superstition where people will be like, oh, witches fly on brooms. Someone can use a mirror to monitor you, even if you are in the West and the person is in Africa. The person can use a mirror to monitor you and all that. But I'm like, you say witches fly on brooms, yet we sit in an airplane for hours in the sky to get to our destination. But that is science, not witchcraft. You say someone can use a mirror to monitor you, but we use cameras all the time. We do video calls all the time. Even though I'm in America, I'm able to make a video call to speak to someone in Africa. That is science, not witchcraft. You say someone can use a mirror to monitor, yet we install cameras in our homes, in offices. So I can be let's say I can be in Mexico and still monitor things here in America with just my smartphone. I can get on there and see what is happening in my office, in my business in America. That is science, it's technology, not witchcraft. You see, there are so many things that some people say that makes you wonder. But you can't blame them because it's lack of exposure. Like most of the things I'm saying now, if I too had not traveled to the West to be exposed to all these things, who knows? I might have the same mindset. So sometimes you can't blame certain people for how they think, for how they behave. It's lack of exposure. That is why those of us who have traveled to the West, we need to educate them. We need to teach them. That is about logic. It's about science. It's technology. This has nothing to do with witchcraft. This has nothing to do with the unseen. No. Even what we call dementia and Parkinson's, they are seen as witchcraft back home. Because the seniors back home, some of them, they get dementia or Parkinson's, but because of the lack of knowledge, we don't know that is what it is. So they start saying things, confusing things. And then we say what? Oh, this person is confessing to witchcraft, confessing to something. But they don't even know what they are talking about. They are confused themselves. How many people back home know what dementia is? How many people back home know what Parkinson's is? If not for me, coming here, I didn't even know what dementia was. I didn't even know what Parkinson's. Coming to America and learning things is what made me know what dementia and Parkinson's is all about. Like, oh my goodness. So that is what most of the seniors back home are facing. But because of the lack of knowledge, we attribute it to witchcraft. We think they are confessing to something they've done. Oh my goodness. So because of ignorance, some of them are hacked to death by their loved ones. They are hacked to death. Some are banished to witch camps. And this is why knowledge matters. This is why we need to expose people back home to all these things. Dementia and Parkinson's here has so oh my God. They are medical conditions which can be controlled. But back home, because of the lack of knowledge, when seniors go through this stage, we attribute it to witchcraft and put them through unbearable pain. And you have these ignorant pastors too, saying, oh, that's witchcraft. Oh, that's witchcraft. Yes, your mother is a witch. Your grandmother is a witch. They are saying, oh, that's witchcraft. Then you see people hack their loved ones to death, put them through pain, torture them, isolate them, because they don't know better. That's why even the Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. And this is why knowledge matters. Because of technology, we are able to install cameras in our homes and offices to monitor everything ourselves. Through those cameras, we can watch from thousands of miles away, listen in, and even have conversations in real time. I can be in any of the countries in Africa and lock and unlock my doors remotely. I can open and close garage with a tap and hold video calls across continent. Technology has made these things possible, not witchcraft, not superstition. I can be in any of the countries in Africa and unlock a door for someone to enter my house. I can open my garage for maybe a package to be placed there. And after the person is done, just click or whatever I need to click and my garage will close. This is not a spirit doing anything. This is technology. What many call mystical powers is simply science applied with knowledge. The difference is perspective. Where some see fear, others see innovation. And that's the tragedy. Ignorance makes us blame the unseen, whilst knowledge allows us to build solutions. Like I said, back home, old people suffering from dementia or Parkinson's are accused of witchcraft due to lack of knowledge. Some are hacked to death. Others are abandoned in so-called witch camps, cut off from love and dignity. Yet here in the West, science gives it a name, a diagnosis and treatment. Like I said, if I had not come to the West, I too wouldn't know what dementia is, what Parkinson's is. I wouldn't know. Exposure has made me learn a lot of things. Here, seniors are cared for with medicine, therapy, and support. All these things happening back home is simply lack of knowledge. And that lack of knowledge is destroying lives. The sad truth is this: what we fear, we condemn. What we don't understand, we destroy. But once you know better, you realize it's not superstition, it's not witchcraft, it's not spirit, it's science, pure science. And that difference can be the line between life and death, because knowledge saves, but ignorance kills. That's why I say religion and superstition are dangerous to society when they replace logic and common sense. The people suffer for it. Leaders exploit it. Pastors monetize it. Families are destroyed by it. And Africa, West Africa to be precise, is bleeding because of it. The truth is that the human mind is powerful. What you believe in will work for you. And that's why scams in the name of religion and superstition work so well, because people believe. If you believe in effort, logic, and accountability, life will work. If you believe everything is spiritual, you will keep suffering, while the rest of the world moves forward with science, systems, and common sense. Sometimes I ask myself, if people who claim to be this religious and know God, act with such wickedness and corruption, how much worse would they be if they didn't claim to know Him? How much worse would they be if they didn't claim to know God? Look at West Africa, to be precise, so deeply religious, churches, mosques, all over the place. Yet corruption, hatred, poverty, and filth are everywhere. Rivers polluted, animals mistreated, abuse of women and children, political leaders looting, stealing, religious leaders scamming. And yet we claim to know God. Really? Really? You claim to know God and you can do all these. So what if you didn't know Him? What if you didn't know Him? Wow. Wow. Is this how you portray God? Is this how you portray Him? Everything is blamed on witches, demons, wizards, the unseen, the unknown, or the devil, when it's clearly the actions of human beings. Someone will do a wrong thing and they'll say, oh, it's not my fault, it's the devil. How is it the devil? So in other words, you are the devil because you are the problem here. So if you are saying it's the devil, then you are the devil. You are the devil. Everything is blamed on, oh, it's the devil, it's one witch, it's one wizard. So in other words, we are the witches, we are the wizards, we are the devils, we are the demons we keep blaming, because it is human beings creating the problems. It is human beings creating the problem. It is human beings creating the problem. So if you want to blame people, then in other words, you are the witch, the wizard, the demon, and the devil you keep blaming. It's human beings who loot the nation's wealth. It's human beings who refuse to fix the roads. It's human beings who take bribes. It's human beings who are taking advantage of each other. It's human beings exploiting people in the name of God. It's human beings polluting and destroying the water bodies and trees. Human beings, not any spirit, not the devil, not a witch, not a wizard, human beings. Yet instead of holding people accountable, we shift the blame to the unseen. The leaders are busily securing their future and that of their generations, while jeopardizing the future of everyone else's. And yet people are not seeing it. People are not paying attention to it. These leaders are securing their future and that of generations unborn, while destroying that of your generations, but you are not paying attention. You'd rather stay blind, keep praying, and keep blaming the unseen. But the truth is undeniable. The real enemy is not hiding in the spirit world. The real enemy is corruption, greed, negligence, selfishness. Until we face that, we will keep fighting shadows while the real devils walk among us smiling. Another thing that sometimes gets me thinking is the contradictions in religion itself. The contradictions in religion itself are another headache. Every religion claims to be the only way, and if you don't follow it, you are going to hell. So whose heaven are we going to then? That's the question I ask. Whose heaven are we going to then? So by logic, either everyone is going to hell or religion itself is a scam. By logic. Which means no one is going to heaven. We are all going to hell. And even some spiritualists, those who say they can read your soul, they can read about your past life and all that, they can't even seem to agree. Because what I say is, if my fingerprint or my social security number produces the same data everywhere, why does my so-called soul reading differ from one person to another? If they are really assessing truth, why isn't it consistent? Or is my soul sadly hiding things from you on purpose? I don't get it. Because if I should go to UK and put my fingerprint, my information should be the same as what you see in America. If I go to Canada and you have to use my fingerprint for something, my information should be the same as if it's used in America or UK. The data should be consistent. It should be the same. Why are the readings different? That should tell you something. I'm not saying every spiritualist or religious leader is fake. I'm not saying that. Because for there to be a fake, there has to be an original to copy from. But let's be honest, the majority are fake. They are just scammers. Most of them are just in it for business, nothing else. And they are more than the real ones. And the inconsistency gives them away. Real truth doesn't bend depending on who delivers it. Truth is constant. Doesn't bend on who delivers it. Truth is unshakable. It's constant. So when every prophet, every seer, every spiritualist gives a different story, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? It tells you that most of them are not tapping into truth. They are just tapping into human ignorance, fear, and desperation. And that's the business they thrive on. That's why sometimes some of the things you hear people do or say in Africa, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Things like people claiming to have died and come back to life, that they've seen heaven or hell. Yet we all know once you are gone, you are gone. Because even the Bible says what? It's appointed for man to die once, after that judgment. So what, you people don't even know what your own Bible says? You don't know what your own Bible says? And then they'll come and tell you they died and came back to life. How? No one has returned from the grave. No one. How do you know how heaven or hell looks like if there is no picture of it, no evidence, no reference? We need something to be used as reference. But we have no reference of it. So how are you telling us this is how heaven looks like, this is how hell looks like? How? You say you saw Jesus, angels, even mermaids, but there's no evidence or reference of how they look. So how can you confidently say that's Jesus you saw? How? How can you say that's Jesus you saw when there's no reference of how he looks like? When there's no evidence of how he looks like? So how can you tell us that that's Jesus you saw? You expect us to believe your personal experience when there is no backing proof. And you know what I say sometimes when I hear things like, you know what I say? I say sometimes, if you were buried, you this person talking, if you were buried within 24 hours like Muslims, or cremated like Hindus, would you be here telling us this? Because which body would you be coming back to life with? Which body? The body that you come back with, it has been cremated. So which body are you coming back with? The body you've been put down there 24 hours, you are down there. These Muslims, they don't waste time. Within 24 hours, you are down there. So which body will you come and tell us that you died and came back to life? How? And the funny thing is that these claims only seem to come from the Christian religion. These claims, they only seem to come from the Christian. If you've paid attention, they only seem to come from the Christian religion. Have you ever heard a Muslim say they died and came back with the thought of the afterlife? Have you? Have you heard a Hindu or Buddhist claiming they went to their version of the afterlife and returned? Have you? No. You don't hear those things. It's only the Christian religion. They are the ones who make such claims. That alone should make you stop and question, is this truth or is this performance? That alone should make you question things. It makes you see the scam clearly. Experience without evidence is not truth. It is manipulation. That's why in the court of law, you don't go and say, based on my experience. No, where's the evidence? We want evidence. We want proof. Where is evidence? Where is proof? Don't come and be telling us stories. We don't go to the court of law with stories. We go with evidence. We go with proof. At the end of the day, all of this has taught me one thing. Life is about responsibility. It's about using your mind, using your brains, using your common sense. It's about doing what's right. Otherwise, people will make you question your own existence if you let them. Because one person will say this today, another person will come and debunk it tomorrow, another person will come and debunk. So it's like, so okay, what do you want? What do you want us to do? Because if you do this, someone will come and tell you now, no, this one is wrong. Do this rather. You do that one too. No, this one is wrong. So at the end of the day, what do you want me to do? So if you can't think for yourself, you will live your life for others. You don't think for yourself. So just live your life with integrity. Honor the Creator. Honor the earth. Honor the universe. Love others as you love yourself. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Because if you don't stand up and think for yourself, others will happily and gladly use your ignorance to control you and profit off your suffering. Family, that's my truth. That's my experience. Living here in America has shown me the difference between logic and superstition. accountability, and excuses. And I share this because I believe we need to start having these conversations. For those of us abroad, we need to expose people back home to the truth, to the reality. Because some of them are behaving that way due to ignorance, due to lack of knowledge. We need to educate them. If this message resonated with you, please share it. Let people hear the truth. Let's wake up, Africa. Let's wake up. Let's use our common sense and let's build a better future for ourselves and for the generations to come. Until next time, stay wise, stay strong, and above all, stay true to yourself. I love you all, and I will see you next time.